Alright, so in this one, we are going to be doing a top 10 list here with the new Golden Frieza. Yeah, this character is very strong. I've not done a top 10 list in a little bit. I don't believe I did one for Baby. While he did have some impact, I don't think he made one. Like, I made a list, but it was on Twitter only. This one here, I do feel there is a major impact that has happened. Nothing overly done. That's like, yeah, the number one unit has changed. I still think the number one unit is still the same unit. It's not a debate anymore between X and Y. It's just one character. But nothing that's like over the top change. It's just like a solid, finite addition to the meta that we expect to happen because, well, it's a new Ultra and he's obviously going to have some impact. So let's get into it. Typically, every single tier list you'll ever see is about 14 stars. So this is a 14-star tier list. And yeah, we begin. Now, number 10, I kind of don't like this option, but it really is the only one that makes sense to me as this low, with it being Revival Cell. Now, Revival Cell fits here because the Glaze team, that red-red-green team still does exist of Gohan, of Revival Cell, and of Super 17. Super 17 being triple Zenkai buff, sometimes even quadruple Zenkai. That's you don't want an HP bench on that team. On that setting there, so obviously he's gassed up. How I compare Revival Cell right now is the easiest way to describe it is Revival Frieza, right? The blue one that existed during Goku Frieza time, right? That kind of peak era for him. As like his last time you kind of ran into that Revival Frieza. You wouldn't now because Blue Cooler obviously has his plat. He's better. You're going to run to LOE, you're going to run to Blue Cooler. But Revival Cell is Revival Frieza modernized. I mean, obviously he's a little bit better because he's Zenkai and stuff, but what Revival Cell does is he does one card, just majority of games, not, going to the little, finite details, but majority of games he does one card, then he swaps into Super 17 or Gohan. You don't do combos with him, you let him revive. He is actually a very good unit to take Frieza's death attack, because it's not AoE, obviously, death attack, the counter attack rather, but you let Cell take that, he'll probably barely live or barely die depending on the stars. And then from there, alright, well, your main two units of Gohan and Super 17 didn't take anything. Cell, who's meant to die anyways and just survive and just be there because he's Zenkai buffing anyways, is taking it. And he doesn't even die sometimes. Yeah, no, it's a good stuff to do. But Cell just makes it because he exists on that team. That team still is the best team in the game, in my opinion. I don't think Frieza, just because of him being melee-based, fits on a best team right now. Especially I've seen Gohan, Super 17, and Frieza as like a cope trio. More of a joke, but like I've seen it actually try to be run. And it's abhorrently trash. The Z abilities, double ultras, when you're trying to run, don't even, synergize anyways. It's just all funky. So Cell makes that core still. Obviously you can't have Purple Cell, you can't have Jiren. Those are options, to be fair, but Cell is so bad individually, that's why he falls lower than, I would say, Purple Cell, because Purple Cell obviously is going to make this list. He's on these, 10 areas here of these 9 remaining choices, but here, Revival Cell, his value comes in the form of him glazing Super 17. He's not doing much on his own right. He can do fine damage. I've seen him do fine enough damage, nothing crazy, but he exists because he's glazing, and because he's glazing, well, he's also Revival, so why not just run him anyways, right? It's literally Revza, not 2.0, because Rival Cell would have to be very good to be 2.0, but Rival Cell is like a Revza 1.5. He's better than Revza, but he's not like eclipsing some arbitrary thing where he's like, yeah, top 7 individual unit. No, he's probably top 25 on his own merit, but he has this team behind him, this team being the best in the game. I have to respect at least that concept of build. If I don't respect Rival Cell, which no one would for a top 10 setting on an individual basis, it's that his team front is what exists and gives him that, merit to be top 10. If you want to have him below, that's fine, but I do think there is some, again, respect given to that team that would push him over the edge to make him above, let's say other units that aren't on this list. Number 9, looking over this other phone here because I do have it just, pre-sex. I did tweet this out last night. Is going to be LF Goku Frieza. Now, I had them top 10 last time we had a new unit of Baby, and they were like, what, 8 best? Because Baby existed, yes, but Baby wasn't top 10. But with that being the case, you also had, okay, here's still Super 17 and Gohan still having a problem. What's a good purple-blue? And I started using that glazed LOE setup, and lo and behold, they were good. Now, with Golden Frieza existing, allowing LOE to have even more help than they had prior with them using LF17 beforehand and LFSA, now you run Blue Cooler, Golden Frieza, and obviously Goku Frieza here. So they got a buff in their department of team basis, which is very nice. They don't go up too substantially just because they are still melee based. They are still having an issue. And with Golden Frieza being this purple, well, the yellows go up. So Baby gets more recognition now. Omen gets more recognition. That means Goku Frieza get hurt as well because half of them is purple. And still Gohan exists, so the blue side of the Frieza is getting hurt by Gohan, and Gohan does not lose value. He might have lost his contention spot for number 1, because I don't think he can contend number 1 anymore because a new purple dropped. But he still has, you know, the top tier condition and positionings for himself there. Again, red, green doesn't exist. But Goku Frieza, this unit is aging right now, I mean, for the current setting, better than Evo Ken and Goku Bardock. Now, obviously, Goku Bardock, it's just really anti-meta for them. Like, there's extra damage to Saiyans. Okay, Goku Frieza kind of deal with that, but there's only one Saiyan on their main team, right? So, they'll be fine. Or it's going to be a new purple drop, okay, Bardock screwed. Or a new green drop, okay, Goku screwed. Or a new, you know, other drop where you can't even use your strikes because anti-armor. Goku Bardock is so screwed, so it's weird seeing Goku Frieza in a top 10. I do think a lot of people would have them in this lower positioning, but still, top 10 for this character. We are a month and a half out from anniversary, so them being in top 10 when they're about to be a year old, that's some stuff LF17 was pulling, right? That's some stuff that has really good aging, and it usually doesn't happen for damage dealers. You look at like Puddle, LF17, Pan, these typical units that were made top 10 for a long time, just the lower ends, but still make it. But more be support units that just age well in their utility essence. Goku Frieza is not aging well because of utility. They're aging well because they have glazed up, and they're good against the meta right now. Now, once the meta gets a yellow, that's freaking really strong. It's going to be fucked. But for now, they are vibing. And yes, Omen is strong. Don't get me wrong. Omen is strong. But Omen kind of has a little bit of a team situation that's not ideal. And Omen is now running with Gohan. But I'll touch on that when we get to Omen. Goku Frieza, though, they got buffed and they got helped with the Golden Man. They even have more safety because you don't have to run LS17 now because Frieza can always die, but he'll always come back. Can't cancel his counterattack there. So you just let him get rushed. They lower sub counts by a bajillion right there, Goku Frieza. Okay. Either let their gauge have it or let Golden Frieza take it. Doesn't fucking matter. You're coming back and you are vibing or you're countering the rush. So, good stuff for Goku Frieza. Again, very shocking that they are here. I mean, it's not a thing you or I expected to see at, 10 to 11 months of their aging, but well, fucking hell. I mean, I got them here, so I like to see their value. Number 8. Let me take actually a sip of coffee because this is going to be a long one. Number 8. Now, this character was much higher prior, but he's gone down quite a bit now. Number 8 is Red Ultimate / Beast Gohan. Now, let me touch on why he went down. Fun fact, he actually got a buff, so let me touch on that real quickly. He got Golden Frieza. It's a new purple, right? UGB was the original purple for movies. Frieza is movies because they've added these DBS characters to movies. Thank God. Battle Gods Goku, Beerus would all be movies. Amazing. ROF, boys. Great. He got a buff. Nice. The thing is with movies, what do you run? I guess you could run Golden Frieza, Janemba, and Gohan. Well, I guess you have a little safety in Golden Frieza, sure. Or Golden Frieza, Gohan, and Pikkon or Piccolo, sure. But does that sound like something that's going to be able to deter Gohan and Super 17? Not really, right? Because we look so far. Rival Cell is on the team of them, so that's why he's here. Goku Frieza is meant to counter that duo, at least attempt to. So that's why he's here. Gohan, what is Gohan on movies doing? Not much. Gohan on Hybrids doesn't exist. It kind of could have coped exist prior to Frieza. It did a little bit. It wasn't great, but it was good enough. Because, red, green, red, green. You could run Pan, Gohan, Ultra Gohan. You could do that. But now with this new purple, it is not as safe to run Ultra Gohan like la-di-la-di-da and just be free as fuck. Because Frieza's really good. Frieza is going to be minimum top 5 here. So Gohan goes down a significant portion because while he has teams that are competent, they aren't good enough. I don't see enough of goodness in movies just in my vision. I used it, actually, and I didn't really see others doing much. Like, I saw Gohan do okay, but the star of the show was Frieza, right? And I would need Gohan to do a little bit better than okay. Like, Piccolo did shit. I used Piccolo. He did absolutely nothing the entire video. It was awful. It wasn't expected to, have him do much, but, like, a little bit more. He did basically nothing, though. Gohan was kind of sidelined as well. And, yes, the new Ultra is better than the couple-month-old LF. Understandable, but that's the thing. they got to be a little bit more in touch with another's power. And Gohan to Frieza, I mean, I don't see enough in the pre-transformation, which is 40 fucking counts, if you're especially comboing them, because you get the gauge halfway done, 50% after 40 counts. If you're not getting comboed, you're not getting that gauge, right? You have to be getting hit, and if you're losing, then Gohan's dying faster because he's pre-transformation. So it's a little bit fuzzy for Gohan there. I don't think this is inherently terrible. This is kind of just a bad situation. It will get better because they will release more strike-based units. They clearly have understood that, oh, this exists. They mentioned in Frieza's kit on the website, this is meant to be good against Super 17 and Gohan. They clearly understand, oh, we kind of did something with blast units here, right? Like, we did kind of big thing here. Not really on purpose, probably, but they did a big thing. We'll probably get more melee-based units. Gohan will be better off in the future. It's Gohan. It's a variant of Super Saiyan 2, a homage to it, so I'd be very shocked if this character doesn't gain 1 million value in 3 months from now, like, you know, the typical thing Gohan does. But right now, I am not seeing this guy very highly, and between you and I wasn't hard considering it, but I was, you know, in some thought process, understanding if you had Goku Frieza above Gohan, or tied more than anything, because LOE, it's not the greatest. It is a 2v3, because Blue Cooler sucks, but it's not like Pikkon or Orange Piccolo are the greatest individual units either, so it's a little fuzzy, but, you know, I did settle on Gohan just because I feel like his potential is a little bit better off, and there is more teams for Gohan, right? Hybrids and movies. Goku Frieza just has the one Glaze team. Number 7 is going to be my Bugman Roach here. I wouldn't say he's lost value. I actually think Cell gets quite a bit of slander. He's pretty good, right? This character, I've seen him run a lot instead of Revival Cell. Maybe not as often as you would see Revival Cell, but I've seen purple, red, green. And kind of what you're doing there is throwing away that safety that the Revival Cell has, and the Zenkai buff and all that glazing, extra glazing that Super 17 doesn't need. Can't speak there. You're throwing that away for amplified damage in Revival Cell, or rather Purple Cell here. And when I see that, I kind of fear it. Matter of fact, when I run to the Jiren setup, but it's so rare. Instead of Cell here, it's Jiren. I kind of fear that because it's actually a pretty good bulk there. These two aren't bulks, but this one here, you're kind of just glass cannoning it. And this Cell, he hits pretty hard. On the setup that you run him with Gohan, he obviously has the pure equip for the Shenron stuff. There's one equip that he has that's 2 android allies, so himself and Super 17 counter that, so you can run double pure on that. He's auto Zenkai buffed by Android 21, so he's always getting gassed up. You have Super 17 getting a double Zenkai buff right there. And then you also have Gohan just being a leader slot, kind of doing his own thing. But what this team just more amplifies would be a more heavy, well, damage press setup. And I think Cell does well in that. He kind of excels in a very nice fashion. He's not a defense type. He doesn't tank for anything. I guess he can heal pretty well with the gauge, but he doesn't tank. He's also supporting, by the way, on his main ability. I think it's Cell Saga and Android he supports on main, if I'm not mistaken. So he actually is giving some amplification there, which Revival Cell does not do. And overall, his def stuff, if you get that 50-50, because Cell's going to die, right? You're letting Cell die. He's here for damage and then to die. Well, you get that 50-50, they're locked in. Super 17 gets a new combo. Cell gave you that. Rival Cell can't do that. You know, Jiren can't do that. Perfect Cell can do that. So it's very nice that he can offer that setting as well. Kind of a, I wouldn't say a better off than Frieza's death, because obviously he comes back to life, but it is more of a, it's a more of a guarantee, right? You know, you have that 50-50 now, but with Frieza, you're just destroying their hand. They can swap. They can do these other things. With Cell, it's like, you're locked, 50-50, good fucking luck. You lose that shit, you're probably losing a unit because Super 17's gassed up, usually decent stars, and, well, he infinite combos, and there's not many blast cover changes that exist. By the way, Frieza has a blast cover change, so thank God for that. But Cell here, I think he's 7. I can't see him much lower. I don't really think that could happen. You also could build him Strike PO if you want. I mean, if you don't have Frieza, or you want to run double purples, I mean, go fucking, you know, ballistic with it. I don't know. Purple, yellow with Baby. I don't. Purple, blue with Janemba. I don't fucking know. He has team subs that exist as well. Regen could be run as well. It's not fantastic, but it's not the shittiest thing in the world. I think this guy has potential. I think there's a little bit of speaking of Cell here, so I like to have him in this positioning because I've seen him pop off and murder my teams when I don't have a yellow, because you weren't running a yellow prior to Golden Frieza, and he would do more than Super 17 some matches, and it's like, oh, what the fuck just happened? And he's like 1x, and I'm like, That's Super 17's job, and then he just murdered my team. It's like, I wasn't running a yellow. There was no point to. Now there is, so he obviously goes down, but I don't think he goes far down because the red's right there, right? Number 6. Oh man, these are long lectures we got here. Someone timestamp, by the way, the placements. That'd be awesome. Appreciate you. If anyone curious about specific units, well, I guess that would spoil it. Well, timestamp like number 10, number 9, number 8. Don't say the character, but say the numbers. Thank you. Whoever does that, appreciate you. Number 6 here is going to be... Oh, wait. I have it where it's angled. Strangely. Hold up. Is going to be Mr. Super Baby 2. Yeah. Again, I said in the beginning of this that he wasn't top 10 for me, and he wasn't. No. But if you do the math, and we could deduce this together, 1 + 1 = 2 type shit, the strong purple dropped. The strong purple's good. What that means is the yellow stock is up. Good job, class. We figured that out. Yes, baby gained stock. Whether you want to run them with, Frieza, I guess, on a setup I've heard of, Janemba, Baby, and Golden Frieza, that could exist. You want to run them on GT, you could do that as well. GT has a lot of anti-meta units. Let's look at, okay, who can stop Super 17? Spirit Bomb GT Goku's pretty good at that. He's probably the best blue at that. That's just a pure blue. Okay, who's good against Gohan? You got some Copium and Bola there, I guess. That exists. Again, that's like the worst one, but there's some Copium there. Who's good against Golden Frieza? Baby. And then you kind of just keep going through the list. Who's good against Ultra Janemba? Because he's getting talked about a lot now. G4, that's on GT, right? So you kind of have these anti-characters on GT, and Baby kind of falls in line with that. Now, he's not at his peak. Nowhere near it, just to point out. There is some Saiyans running around. You have, GT Spirit Bomb Goku, you have Omen, you have Goku Frieza. That's 3. That's fine, but, most metas, we're going to deal with, 8 Saiyans. A lot of pre-anniversary, we kind of hit this mold of, okay, here's the tag droids being the best, and here's subsequent units that go on their team being the best, right? And we're kind of at that era with Cell, with another Cell, and with Golden Frieza, with Super 17. We're at that weird era where we're it's not just Saiyans, it's just kind of an amalgamation of, here's an LOE guy, here's an android, here's a regen guy, here's a GT guy, here's a hybrid guy. It usually is a hybrid guy somewhere, but it's a lot of characters. So once Saiyans drop, which I would be very shocked if they didn't drop very soon, Baby will gain even more stock, even if they're advantage. Man, I got a 5-star Baby, and let me tell you, this motherfucker cooks. He cooks like crazy. So on top of him being type advantage to the newest unit in the game there, he's obviously hurting Cell, he's hurting Goku Frieza. I've run into a lot more Babies, and man, when I run into Super Baby 2 here while I'm using Goku Frieza on LOE with Golden Frieza, it is tough. It is scary. It's fucking petrifying because this character murders my 2 purples, and then I also have Blue Cooler, which is pretty useless, so I'm just I kind of just have to hope kill him at that point. Maybe some blue card bullshit from Goku Frieza on the Frieza part. It's let's hope this kills the one-shots, because if it doesn't, holy shit, you're fucked. And that's because people have low-star Babies. The ones I'm running into, it's a 5 to 7-star. Imagine there's a 14-star. Imagine there was a really hype character right there instead of Super Baby 2 that people love, some common shit of Beast Gohan had the same kid as Super Baby 2. This guy, he might even be higher if I could run into more stars of him, but I'm not, thankfully, so I can't put him higher. It's just the experience part, and on top of, I don't think he would even fit too much higher, maybe 5 peak, but he would go higher. But right now, he's very good against the newest units. He's very good against Cell. He's very good against even type neutral, and sometimes even goddamn type advantage. Not Super 17, but ready to go on here, he's very good. Rival Cell, he's very good against. Despite them being advantage, he could still manhandle them. And whether you run him on GT, PO, Regen, wherever the fuck else he can go, I don't fucking know. He's going to do work on every single setting. Man, let me tell you as well, this man's got infinite blues. I know he spawns them on gauge, but shit, they're fucking annoying because that's a lock-in short animation blue, and it's and it's type neutral, isn't it? That shit is fucking gas. Obviously with gauge it's neutral, or rather neutral and lock-in, but it's 2 or 3 cards to get his gauge. It ain't hard to get. My 5-star could get his fucking gauge 3 times in a match, and he's fucking 5-star. Super Baby 2, I don't think he's underrated, but this definitely is a unit that did exactly what people expected. He is a very good unit in the wrong meta. That's what happened. Now he's in a better meta because, well, a purple dropped. And, well, here's the value rise for the character. Number 5 is GT Spirit Pump Goku. Actually was hard debating this in my mind while making this list here, that GT Spirit Bomb and Baby would be in the same exact tier. 5, 6, 7 are not very far from me. I would say Cell is the furthest because Cell is just on, I would argue, he's not always mained on that, you know, hybrid Android team with Gohan and Super 17, so he's arguably on worse teams. GT, Goku, and Baby, they're on the same exact team, right? So there was a hard debate in my head that was like 5, 6, 7, how the fuck do I order this? And I decided this way because GT Goku didn't lose value with this release. He didn't gain anything. You know, not like anything happened because a purple dropped. Okay, GT Goku goes up or down. That doesn't impact him. But he retains the same value he's had, so he stays where he is. Baby went up, but GT Goku still has potential of his very easy killing of Super 17 if you kind of get a combo going, especially with that gauge. You have an enemy dead, you do a lock-in on the ult, you know, do whatever you can do, and have some defense in this in your kit as well. He still does his job. It's just Baby feels like the bigger glow-up, but Goku didn't ever need a glow-up. He's just been chilling. He's just doing his job perfectly well. Now, his job isn't much, but his job is getting a free kill basically at the end of the match, or if not, sometimes in the middle of the match. If you just get some lucky catch there, do a green card, do a blue card or ultimate, then boom, you kill Super 17, boom, you kill Gohan, because you're going type neutral in that ultimate because your gauge is filled because you just took a 15-year-long Super 17 combo, and that still exists. That doesn't change with this release. So I would say GT Goku, retaining value. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, was a skip on release, and I think I was still right, because that banner was dog shit. He also had no foundation for GT. Obviously, we were waiting for it, but he's aging well, so that's nice to see. I'll hold that L. I didn't call Baby a skip, at least. Yeah, thank God, because Baby's going to probably go higher than GT Goku one day. But GT Goku, top 5 here, number 5 for me. Pretty gosh darn good damn unit. Number 4, I do have UI Omen Goku. Now, this is because, in my opinion, it is so barely the case, but it is the case, that UI Goku is the best Frieza counter. The reasoning is just because this is a character, you look at the 2 yellows, right? It's going to be Baby, it's going to be UI. It's going to be one of them. Makes sense. The reasoning would be that UI is just more cared for. I mean, I know it's a 14-star list, but let's be realistic here. Do you have a 14-star UI or a 14-star Baby? You most likely would have a 14-star UI. I have a 5-star Baby. I don't really care for Baby. You probably don't care for Baby much. If you were looking at Part 3 of Fest and you were like, Goku Bardock exists, Evo Ken exists, this guy goes great with, you know, either of those 2 Legends Fest units from the prior parts, you probably went in for UI. And then when you saw Super Baby 2, you were probably like, I have Super 17. Why the fuck would I summon for goddamn Super Baby 2? People probably have more stars on UI, and I feel like that's the main reason you could actually argue him as the best Frieza counter, because Frieza, you can see here, will be top 3. It gives UI more value, right? Again, new purple drops, yellow stock goes up. UI was not in the perfect condition prior because, you know, he wasn't really needed in any sense, but now he's more needed, obviously, against Golden Frieza, because his power is such more immense situation than you would say Cell. Obviously, they're still good, Cell, Jiren, but Frieza is the newest Ultra. He's going to be better than these other LFs from years and months ago, right? So you do have to have kind of a handle on him, at least in one unit or another, Baby or Omen here. And I do feel like Omen does that better. Omen also being a range-based unit, there's not many blast cover changes. Again, that's just a thing that exists. His lock-in situation, you know how that goes. Now, I will say, both these units, Baby or Omen, cannot tank for shit, right? I mean, Baby, I guess, is meant to tank 2 or 3 cards, but I'm really referring to that counterattack from Frieza. That's type neutral. You ain't stopping that shit from nuking you. I've had it where it does 3 million damage, it makes an Omen one-shot, then I go over taps, and I kill that Omen. I didn't do anything. I died, and I got a kill because I died. You see how that makes no sense? It's just the best of the possible candidates that exist, and I would say Omen fits the best bill to counter Frieza. Again, that is really the main thing. Obviously, Omen is still hurt by Super 17, But I guess you are now trying to run Omen with Gohan, I've seen. Gohan lead on reps, or I've seen Gohan on, or rather Omen on Androids as well. Kind of a red, yellow thing there. And, hey man, I gotta do what you gotta do. But, he's kind of finding his footing on different teams where he's leader slot or their leader slot, and Ally Ultra, whatever it is. A lot of the main two teams are going to be double Ultra, LF, or if not, two LFs and Ultra. And Omen's kind of finding his footing there. I guess you could run a situation of like Omen here, GT Goku, and then Baby. I guess Baby would be the greatest because he's strike-based, but like something in a theory of that, right? Because you do have situations to kind of call for it. I guess Jiren, right? Yellow, blue, purple could help out. Who knows? Anti-meta against Gohan and Super 17. But that is number 4. Number 3 is going to be the Golden Lizard Man Frieza. Now, I did say you should skip him, and I don't go back on that. The same thing I always mentioned with this guy, and I put out, was that I don't like that he doesn't have cover null on his entry. You have Gohan, you have Super 17, and you have Janemba. Janemba is really the oddball here, because it's like, why mention Janemba? These units are getting cover null, click card, enter, cover null, 5 counts. Frieza, understandable. He makes 2 green cards from his gauge. Get it, got it, great, love that. No entry cover null is something that is a flaw. He has a flaw. He's top 3, but he has a flaw. You will have a flaw up here unless you're number 1. And, well, he ain't number 1. For 2, his teams. He is a strike unit. If you were blast base, honestly, he might even be debatably number 1 for me. But he is a strike-based unit, meaning it's going to be hard to land your cards because Omen exists, auto-dodging. Okay, Gohan exists, auto-dodging. Alright, that's a piece of shit. It's annoying, but whatever, fine. The thing with him being strike-based is not even that he can't hit them. What do you run? Again, I mentioned, Baby, Golden Frieza, and Janemba? That's a thing. Or Glazed Up LOE? That's a thing. But these aren't some top-tier broken teams that are just going to eclipse the red-green setup of Gohan and Super 17. I don't think so. Sure, they can do damage to them. Sure, they can do well. But consistently, I would very much be hard-pressed to argue that red-green is going to be much more consistent than like a PO of a low-star Baby, because you probably didn't summon for him. Janemba, you might not even own because you didn't care about Janemba. Who the fuck really did, to be honest with you? Wasn't he a bait before Festival as well? Like, these aren't units you're necessarily owning at the craziest stars or even owning at all. Then Frieza, Frieza's right before Anniversary. This might be the last Ultra before Anniversary. We might get an LF or maybe another Ultra, right, next month in April, but seemingly this could be the last new unit before Anniversary at some point, at least premium character, who knows what they do. And it's like, that exists, but is it going to be better? Are you going to have the stars? You're not going to have the Zenkai buffs, let me tell you that. Super 17's still going to have his 2x, 3x setup, whatever he has, and you're just going to get, beat the fuck down. Janemba has a strike cover. What's the strike, or rather, strike gauge, similar to Omen and such over there. But what's it matter if you're up against a full blast-based team and Super 17 does 6 cards and then kills your Janemba from 100-0? Because he can do that. That's very easy for him to do. Golden Frieza, he's good. He's great. He's amazing. But I do not think you should have summoned if you did summon. Well, it happens. Gotta get eager, right? It happens. I didn't mean to 14-star him. It was accidental. Legitimately, I pulled 3 copies in 10k. I didn't mean for that shit to happen. I was all in at that point because I was 3 copies in. Why not go for 2 more? He's good. He's great. Is he a necessity? No. I don't think any unit besides number 1 could be deemed a unit. Like, let's say you were to make a new account and you could summon on any top 5 units banner. No unit besides number 1, because he actually had a good banner, would be debatable to be summoned on. It would all just be straight up no's. Omen, no. GT Goku, shit banner. Frieza, shit banner. Gohan's gonna be number 2, shit banner. Super 17's gonna be number 1, shit banner. Or rather, wait, there's your stoppage point, right? He had Cell. Didn't he have Orange Piccolo or LF17 or something like that? GT17 I'm sure was there as well, who's been talked about quite recently as a decent unit. You would summon on that banner. But Frieza, he got Cooler, LF Cooler. He got Golden. No, not Golden. The fuck. You have full power Frieza, LF Broly, unless he Zenkai's next week, which I don't know. And LFsa, you ain't got much to summon for. It was not worth summoning. He has a team struggle. If he were blast based, this shit wouldn't even be a fucking thing coming out of my mouth. But the fact that he is a strike-based unit, there's a blast cover, that's awesome. We needed that. Genuinely, thank you. He has good anti-stuff to Super 17, and that's great. But because he's strike-based, his team struggle will prevail over anything. If he was blast-based, I would have him easily above Gohan, and maybe tied for number 1. It would be tough, because Super 17 is not play-tested. He is God, especially because you're glazing him often. But number 3, I got Frieza. I already mentioned it, but number 2 is Gohan, and Super 17 will be number 1. Again, what this really did with the release of Golden Frieza is update the need of yellows, which that's why they're high up here in the top 6. And it does one thing very important where it differentiates Super 17 from Gohan. Because originally, it was much more, everyone was saying, okay, they're tied for 1. We can't really separate them. Some people would argue Gohan or Super 17. But it was more the situation of tied. Who cares? What's it matter? It's not that big of a debate. There's no real difference. Now, strong purple, green goes down, green goes down. Yes, Gohan goes down. Now, it's pretty shocking to say that Gohan is number 2 because of Golden Frieza being top 3, but then you look below and it's like, there's Omen right there kind of hoping to keep, like, you look at this, it's like a checklist. Super 17, he excludes it, obviously. Gohan, okay, he's beat down by Frieza, but then Frieza, okay, he's beat down by Omen. Okay, kind of going through to the Ultras again. Omen is existent, but then you look down number 6, oh shit, there you have a unit that's good against Frieza again. Then you look at number 7, oh, that's good against Gohan. And then we kind of end that theory there, and, you know, GT Goku's good against Super 17, but he's not some, you know, Omega counter. He's just the best of the choices we have right now. He's just pretty good. But, Gohan goes down because new shiny purple guy good. Gohan go down because he green. That's it. The difference is that Gohan has a much better team than Frieza, and while they're probably equal in power, you could probably argue Gohan's better. It would actually be pretty hard to argue Frieza's better. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's better, because even if they're equivalent, or Gohan's just a little bit ahead, Gohan's a little bit below, the team gap is so wide between Frieza and Gohan, it's a thing that can't be debated, because Gohan's running with the number 2 unit, or rather number 1 unit, well, he's number 2 unit, and then the number 10 unit, and it's like, or the number 7 unit, or Jiren who'd be top 15, and it's like, you just have so much ease of usage with this character because who he's paired with. Frieza, he's gonna be good with Janemba, with Piccolo, Pikkon, Baby. He's gonna be great with them. But, okay, here's Janemba who's selfish. Here's Baby, who's not selfish, but he's gonna deal with Super 17 a lot of matches. He might just not be used much in those matches, and he probably won't do anything in those matches. So it goes to 2 selfish characters of Janemba and Golden Frieza, and while they are blue-purple, that's a good anti-meta, it's just a tough road ahead because you got full blast faced against you. You got Super 17, he does a combo. He's probably killing either character. It just isn't a perfect time. It could be better if you're range-based, but it's not perfect time for Frieza right now. It's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. He's top 3, but it's not perfect. It is not. The perfect unit right now is Super 17. You can't swap against him. You want to swap against him? You have 1 card of no cover and all, maybe 2 sometimes if they, you know, have strikes, which they shouldn't because this team's range based. But there's like 1 to 2 cards you could cover swap, and if you don't get it, and there's what 2 units here that have blast covers, by the way, Gohan in base, which you don't want to be in base, then Frieza. If you don't get those covers, bye. Oh wait, Frieza ups arts cost, but then 17 gets gauge. Guess what happens then? He cancels the debuffs. So that arts cost that went up, boom, it's gone. So it's not perfect for Frieza, but it is for Super 17. So to re-go over my top 10 here, it is Super 17 number 1, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan number 2, Ultra Golden Frieza number 3, UI Omen Goku number 4, GT Spirit Bomb Goku number 5, Super Baby 2 number 6, GT, Perfect Form Cell number 7, number 8 is Red Beast / Ultimate Gohan, number 9 is Goku Frieza, and number 10 is fucking Revival Cell. I didn't want to put him here, but I couldn't lie to myself and be like, he doesn't make it. He's on the best team in the game. If Revza can make it, this piece of shit can make it too, right? Let me know what you guys think of my top 10, and I'll see you guys in the next one.